The Evil of All Beings Chapter 14 6 Swords. If a cloud is without clean fruit, it is for the wind to draw it down. The woman squeezed the sword, the magic added to the sword in the hand of the practitioner, and drank softly. The red and green sword on the sword suddenly spun like a cloud, and it only took an instant to condense into a cluster of wind tornado, straight at the flying sun. Ha ha, it turned out to be the master sister of Kingston Gate. Get it right, and let you taste the third-rate school of small master today. He had no good impression on the gate of Qing Xuan, and he had no good impression on the woman with the sword. A strange side turned down, the hand of the firewood knife has been approaching the girl's side. For this low level of sword formula, if you cannot even dodge, he does not have to mix in the fairy world. The girl is not impatient, just the wind break is just a move to test the strength of the other party. See, the other party can dodge to attack. She is also swinging a sword. After all, she is in front of a vanadium iron, casting broken firewood knife. Go bang. The dark green firewood knife answered the call. Ha ha, what a flying sword. Then try my Mobe cold light knife. Flying churn right hand over, Kainkan bag, in another black firewood knife jumped out. Look at this kitchen knife, 2 feet long and 3 inches wide. It is an ordinary firewood knife. There is no ordinary, boom. But it is a look ordinary firewood knife, hard to take the Logcan tire sword. Hey, little girl, not even a firewood knife, what kind of sword are you? Can you sell me for 5 shekels? Flying churn face can be imagined. The girl frowned and became murderous at the flighty boy, in front of her, boom. Not afraid of the sword blade of Logcan tire, the 2 organs intersect again, and the dazzling light of the night rises. Quiet electric light, flashing red light. The second sword clearly used the girl's full strength, but the strange firewood knife was only just cut to the sword body, and there was no sign of breaking. The girl's face was suddenly a burst of red and green. She was surprised that the young man dared to touch himself with the firewood knife in his hand, and did not break as she imagined. To know that the sword in her hand is very big, that is, if the general fairy tool can cut it into 2 pieces under the full force, and the firewood knife in the hands of the young man was so strong, naturally, she had to have some strange heart, huh? And cut a notch out of my baby. Flying churn looked at the firewood knife in his hands. The heart is also a little surprised. This secret weapon he is personally left with the Mobe cold iron, and the golden liquid in the black gourd to create, in addition to not holding excessive power to use the power of the magic. Its sharp degree of injury is not afraid of fairy. You are of the Xianxia school. No, Xianxia has no man. The girl snorted cold, looking at the firewood knife in the hand of Flying Churn. This only looked up the young people in front of him. You don't care what kind of pie I have. Today I will let you taste Xiao Yes firewood knife. With a wave of the left hand, Kainkan bag jumped out of 5 firewood knives. Each one is like the color of the night. If it is not the light on his body, perhaps it is not clear. 3 times Chagang, 3 times River Quay, 6 fierce swords. Along the way, 3 firewood knives into the air, 3 firewood knives hidden into the night. This control of 6 physical firewood knives means scared the woman. She has been practicing art for many years, never heard of any school can have such a strange move. But do not let her think much. 6 firewood knife flying attack. Firewood knife is different from flying sword, familiar with the rules to follow. The 6 knife track arc messy, but the knife is tricky and fierce. Dang dang, the knife played in the protective gang cover. Shock, the girl holding the sword is also some numbness. Against the enemy experience is not rich in her heart has been great, but also always know that the teenager is dressed as a pig to eat the tiger. 3 not far away, 6 to near, 9 long night, linger sword. The girl saw that the situation was wrong. Zhao drank a sound, and used the lingering sword of Qing Xuan Gate. In an instant, the girl was surrounded by green, more than 10 meters around into a large circle, as if transformed into an independent space. Logcan tire turned into a sky of sword rain, falling from the sky, swishing down. If you look closely, you can see the green lightsaber fell, protecting its entire body. The style of the Grand School is famous. This Ligjian Chi Fei Chern itself is known. It is difficult to learn the defensive skills of Kingston disciples, coupled with this Logcan tire sword. He is sure that the woman is not a disciple of Kingston elders, which is the Jiangfeng real close disciples, and this skill and Kingston Gate's Guantian sword belong to the same level. but one is a defense, one is an attack. Dang. Damn, damn, dang. There were 6 booms and the knife bounced off into the darkness. Will be 6 of the tricky entity of the firewood knife flicked open. The girl clenched the brow, the fingers connected, a victory in sight. Logcan tire pointed to Flying Churn, like to do a kill. Flying Churn is a sneer. The sword array in the hand has formed, the palm of the virtual grasp. Suddenly 6 firewood knife into 3 Chagang sword, 3 River Quay sword, mingling into a sword net, sword track hot. Tiagang. River King. Stop. 6 fierce sword is not Sinew school sword formula, but kill fairy formula in the first section of the unique skill. But even if it is a general skill, also has its poison after the move, crossed into a net of 6 physical firewood knife, each knife to the girl's body protective light cover, banging in the ear. She grabbed at this time in the hand of the dragon spring tire almost can, not hold, evil. The girl shouted angrily, even retreated a dozen steps, withdrew from the 6 fierce sword attack range of Flying Churn. The heart is all, hey, if you can't beat someone, you call them evil. And there are a lot of evil in the world. Flying Churn Yun test of smile, 6 firewood knife gathered in the hands, their own know their own paw, to play down this body firewood, will not know how many can be left, to know that the girl is not lower than him, weapons, and is not a grade stronger than him, just lose in the experience of the enemy. Well, there are not many evil spirits, what do you want me to do? A big drink, a man flying sword from the mountain to fly down, such as the momentum of the sky Changhong, extremely fast. Brother Lonnian, you've come. The girl's tone is peaceful, but there is no previous home frost cold and proud, faint with a trace of hope, a trace of joy, as if in front of him is his dream. Oh, here I come, Lonnian brief words, but light as water, half silk superfluous feelings also refused to pour. Flying Churn looked up and down. I saw the man in the woman before the age of 20 years old, more than 7 feet of body, 2 thick eyebrows, eyes like a torch, strong face on the righteous, and listen to its voice just now, want to think it should be heroic people, but the long sword in his hand is ordinary, 3 feet 3 inches, the whole body of red light, but it is just a 3 kinds of Dharma. Oh, help is coming. But it seems that you are looking for the wrong target. Is it possible that you, a decent disciple, still want to try my Xiangxia firewood cutter? Fei Churn is heard that the man called Lonnian must be the girl's love. The heart is a pity. The woman looks beautiful and peerless, not their own that is really a pity. But the man named Longyun was calm, and asked, what proof do you have that you're Xiangxia? I don't remember anyone in the Xiangxia sect using a woodcutter. If I say so, there is no need to prove it. See the girl's eyes burning, staring at the man instead of himself, flying in the heart inexplicable fire, of course, will not be polite. Oh, little brother temper is big. In the next Longian, is the Kingston Gate left Chiu Dragon Palm Peak under the disciples. This is the Sky Peak Lucky Junhua Palm Peak real daughter Lucky Double Snow. Dare to ask little brother who? Is it Uncle Ru Yoshi, or Sister Lin Ruiyu? Longian smile, see Flying Churn expression, but like the letter on a few points, after all, who do not have to impersonate Xiangxia Gate. This third-rate school is, Kingston Gate has 6 huge peaks, 5 peaks around the main peak of the 5-star, by the 5 palm peak of the real person respectively in charge. Palm teaching the real person is sitting on the main peak. People are not much, then known as the first school in the world. What did my brother tell him? Xiangxia sent a bunch of women, and there were no men who used firewood knives. Lucky Double Snow wrinkled eyebrows, sword pointing to fly, want to just win, or lose, little master brother. Little master brother. In the night, 4 white women swish too. It is Lin Ruiyu and others. Sister Lin, here I am. See is the 4 beauty sister. Flying Churn know that the fight is not hit. The face suddenly piled up a smile, a face of the right color said, oh. It turned out to be Master Brother Longian. I have heard a long time about my name. I am Yun Faken, is a disciple under the head of the Ruaishi seat. Younger brother started early. Speaking of younger brother must call you Master Brother. Cloud Master Brother will not blame younger brother just reckless. See far heaven is Lin Ruiyu and others, and see the man is Xiangxia school brother. Longian temperament is straight. The other party called him Master Brother. He is also happy to smile. Ha ha, naturally will, not. Flying little brother also do not blame himself, as the saying goes, do not play, do not know, with the right path, should be with the gas, come, let's go back to the inn to drink, that lucky double snow, a moment to see the situation turned upside down, secretly will this cloud flying churn to get angry up, and gas like their own brother unexpectedly suddenly, and each other clique, like a long time not to meet old friends, when the face pulled down, little master brother is there, oh no good, this is the lucky double snow of Qing Xuan Gate, Lin Ruiyu far to see flying in that, the heart under the big hurry, the takeoff sword quickly fell, well, let's hurry over before anything happens, this lucky double snow is also a reckless person, famous for high and cold, Qing Xuan Gate is the big school, with all the same school, how much also some contact, so Lin Ruiyu is to know this person, the four of them were in the inn just now, and after a while Flying Churn went missing, and even the four people looked for a few miles around, and found the little brother who was bold, and liked to make trouble, and they all breathed a sigh. The Evil of All Beings Chapter 15, The Same Spirit. In the booth, Flying and Longyan two people sat in the first seat, Lin Ruiyu four women sat next to Flying, lucky double snow, women do not speak, but two men they're chatting, food is not on, wine is up two altars, what a coincidence, I wonder, what big brother Longyan has to do in Xiangxia town. Fei Chen insinuating way, Yunshan from here thousands of miles of land, he is not afraid of someone and he robbed the Meridian Chase sword, he wants to know is the purpose of Kingston Gate to this, and, cannot get what oil water, oh, there is indeed an important thing, we have to lay a trap in Xiangkou town tomorrow, Longyan smiled, picked up the big bowl of wine, and drank it down, brother dragon. Lucky double snow frowned, indicating each other not to continue to say, what does it matter? We are all members of our own family, and we all say that people on the right path should be connected with each other. Longyan waved, don't mind what he said, but advised double snow to put down the heart, tomorrow there will be a market, I wonder, what trap brother Longyan will lay? Where can a little brother help? Fei Chen eyes roll a turn, picked up the wine, with each other touched a cup, after drinking tup praise, well, what we do in the Qing Xuan Gate, use Xiangxia school to join together, lucky double snow cold way, hey, we are all right people, with the same spirit, do you know what the same spirit is? Deepen the tone of these four words, Flying Churn will each other angry not light, make Lin Ruiyu four women a want to laugh, yes, the right way should be like this, in fact, the thing is like this, our Kingston Feng Master Chang's son tomorrow will hide in the Bay Eye enemy for decades to draw out, and I and Double Snow Sister will do the support, stop each other's help outside the city, so that Master Chang's son can kill the enemy. After all, the Xiangxia school is a small branch of the Kingaman, so Longyan does not hide it, and the Panto comes out, oh, is this a very bad enemy? After 2 years of compulsory training, Lin Ruiyu naturally guessed what the slippery little teacher wanted to do and asked for help. That is natural. This Gongliang Bai is a strong man in the Yuan infant period, in addition to having a very high alchemy skill, a dragon yu sword in his hand is also quite good. If you can kill this person, not only can help Master Chang's son avenge a great revenge, but also can do a good thing for the world. Longyan this person has no scheming, Tao heart pure, what to say, well, it is true, the younger brother can congratulate the elder brother on the victory, beheaded this evil way, and raise the power of the Shenzhou mainland, mouth said so. Flying in the heart is a secret way, see you Kingston door is nothing good, not just look at other people's Xiandan and good sword, said is a grand, brother said this, cannot be successful or not, this master of the Yuan infant period is not an idle generation, tomorrow we are ambushed his disciples just, this Gongliang White also have to Chanson master uncle to fight, Longyan big smile, in front of this with their more and more familiar brothers is very satisfied, knocked, after a hurried knock at the door, upper and lower grade 20 young Qing Xuan door disciple came in, sister, some of Gongliang Bai's disciples have settled in Yizang outside the north of the city. The man who came in looked at Double Snow with joy, but as soon as he saw the Flying Chen, and others next to him, his face immediately wrinkled up. He and Lucky Double Snow are from the Sky Peak. Lucky Double Snow is proud Snow Yan beauty, much of the Peak children's favor, is Sunzalin is also very like the elder sister, and this time down the mountain to work is also to her respect. As for the Longyan rival, even master brother, he is too lazy to care, again this master brother is the Kingian Peak, not a peak man, so very neglects, hey, isn't this brother Sun? An acquaintance. Flying Chern looked at each other, but he smiled, silently wrote down the location, and Lin Ruiyu and other 4 people are warned up. The sword in his hand is also tight, and Sun Zinklin is also surprised, not angry back smile, yo, it is a few colleagues of Xiangxia, it is really good luck, out of the door can meet a few, you and I several people are destined, of course it was, see each other not angry laugh, Flying Chern also, September forum tilde finishing, Heart has been the other party scold a few times, also secretly guard down, to know that the abnormal thing is the demon, let's go. Lucky Double Snow picked up Logcan Tai, then out of the door, she is not know this Sun Zinklin, and Cloud Faken and other people's holiday, just a face of frost gas, obviously not very like, and these third-rate school guys sitting together, Longyan see Lucky Double Snow followed Sun Zinklin out of the door, he is not good to stay to drink and talk, convenient apologize followed out of the door, in the room left only Lin Ruiyu, and Fly a few people, how did little brother meet that Lucky Double Snow? That woman is not easy to mess with, do you have a crush on him? Lin Ruiyu skimmed his mouth and stared at Flying Chern, Xi Mangxing took a look at the 2 of them and smiled, oh, master brother is not quick to apologize, you see sister Lin jealous, listen to 2 people so a joke, Chagriting face and Lin Ruiyu generally also pulled down, silent, a pair of resentful appearance, is this snow very beautiful? I don't see why, little brother, will not like this woman, oh. Fang Jitsi patted Chagriting's shoulder comfort said, back to Fly Chern made a look, disciple rank to Lin Ruiyu, Xi Mangxiang, Fang Jitsi, Chagriting top down, Lin Ruiyu just with soft, Xi Mangxiang is just old, Fang Jitsi most will observe the expression, and Chagriting is communicative, but the character is relatively weak, is often by 3 people, a few people have their own characteristics, beauty is difficult to distinguish the outcome, where will it be? I like the master and a few senior sisters most, that Lucky Double Snow is not the slightest bit of a woman's temperament, which day fell in my hands, hey, Fei Chern did not finish, but in the heart next, see I must help her to cure her this princess disease, ha ha, how to say that the Logcan Tai, in people's hands is not high, but it is also an artifact, a repair for the true legend of his father Xin Junhua, where you beat her with the broken firewood knife, don't be humiliated by her, previously did not see Flying and Lucky Double Snow fight, so Lin Ruiyu said jokingly, Fei Chern is not bothered, smile to appreciate around a few flowers in general, the corners of the mouth turned up, the tongue licked, a non-food color, a few people see, are covering their mouths, and laughing, half loud, the crowd stopped. Lin Ruiyu asked, before you inquire about this matter, will not tomorrow, and they go to ambush the Gongliang White. No thing, the other side is the superior person of the Yuan infant period, how can I fight? But I haven't been home for a long time, and I want to go back to Juxianshan to see if my adoptive father has come back, some senior sisters will wait for me in Yanshan tomorrow, and when I finish visiting my home, I will find you, Flying Chern said, looking at several senior sisters, how can this work? The master said that we have to protect you, although you have 3 levels of fetal movement, similar to me, but without a protective sword, I cannot rest assured. Fang Jitsi worried, she thinks this is Flying escape scheme, sister is really concerned about chaos, I just go home, and my firewood knife is also very useful, royal sword flight is some hard, but not cannot be used. Fei Chern blinked his eyes, his mouth skimmed, pretending to almost cry out, that's right, it's good to go home once after 2 years, for a long time no tears offensive, instantly broke the psychological line of defense Chang writing, well, let him go, it's late, go to sleep, Lin Ruiyu swept everyone at a glance, then took Chagriting to leave, before going also don't forget to stare at Flying Chern, I have also gone to sleep. So don't go out again tonight, lest we have to look for it again, Xi Mangxing asked, also followed the door, I see, promise not to go out, see stratagem, Fly immediately guarantee, his heart at this moment is how to get, what good in this double snow, after half an hour, estimated that Lin Ruiyu and others went to sleep, he climbed out of the window of the inn, offering the dark and shadowy firewood knife, the imperial sword went to the north of the city. The evil that troubles all beings chapter 16, 3 for flowers, 4 for love, outside the city gate, I saw a temple-like house standing beside the bare moat, which was what they had previously called the Village of Righteousness. Looking at this small village gate in ruins, half of the wooden door had fallen to the ground, and the other half had disappeared, apparently damaged in the fight, and Zhuang at this time green light red masterpiece, constantly back and forth, fine, should be lucky double snow and others fight. Flying Chern did not go close to these people, just standing behind the pagoda tree on the side of Yizang, staring at every move in front, with lucky double snow. Lonnian, Sun Zinklin three people fight is a middle-aged man, he looks normal, look awestruck, hand a green immortal sword hovering in the air, dance impenetrable, in the face of the hands of three people flying sword actually also dexterous. Flying Chern showed a far eye to see, the four in the fight. The disciples of the public good white actually also have the magic of raising Dan 9 levels, and Lonnian's raising Dan 7 levels, and Lucky Double Snow is raising Dan 2 levels, Sun Zinklin is the first level. After all, Gongliang white disciples are about to condense into Yuan baby, although only 2 levels higher than Lonnian, but its experience against the enemy also did not fall, and Kingston Gate 3 people are obviously lack of the idea of death. Play up only requires the collection of 3 people accept each other, so it led to half an hour. The war is still deadlocked, 3 days of shooting valley, killing life phase Wu, Guan sword. The heavenly sword. The traversal sword. Sun Zinklin after 2 years of cultivation, the strength is greatly enhanced. Traversal sword also makes more and more smooth than the previous 2 years, the speed is much faster. A fairy gun firefly into the sky red, continuously to the middle-aged man's eyes even stabbed, 3 swords. Well, I'd rather not use the traversing sword of such power, the difference of 1 level is great, let alone 7 or 8 levels. Green bamboo yi, its leaves are delicate, 3 pieces of flowers, 4 pieces of love. The middle-aged man smirked a sound, the expression and the mood of the sword is far from it. The hands of the beautiful even cut out 7 swords, but all swords cut out the green arc light, like very gentle pieces of flying leaves, but it is the 3 green leaves that whisper like a lover, easily broke the other side's power, and frightening 3 transverse swords. Behind the 4 deadly leaves are to the opposite Sun Zinklin attack. Be careful, brother. Is the mountain and river village asked love flying leaf cut. The red sword in Longlian's hand was different from the firefly by a number of levels, but it was just an ordinary 8-level Dharma tool, that could not be more ordinary, as he was a famous disciple of the Qing Xuan Gate, but it seemed a little incompatible. It is rare to cross swords with middle-aged people in the fight, which appears to be a little tied up, and Sun Zinklin with a fairy and proud temper, go out these years have never met the enemy, so which will listen to his brother, who is not a nest to remind, but will go to pick up the trick. A few sounds, those flying leaves are blocked after 3, the last one or hit his protective gang cover, bang a loud noise, hit him flying out, puke out a blood, Dan's eyes narrowed, blushing like, almost unconscious, master brother. After all, the friendship of the same door, see his brother injured. Lucky Double Snow immediately took the sword, and each other fight together. Lonnian see Sun Zinklin in danger. Lucky Double Snow is a desperate look, the heart is already a big hurry, holding the sword, foot 7 stars, 7 steps, drink a shout, 9 days Xuan Sha, into God Thunder, Huang Wang Taoyang Wei, sword lead. In an instant, the loud bang, a series of 9 true thunder fell from the sky, penetrated the roof, and gathered on the red sword of the dragon cloud, saw his right hand suddenly swung down, and 9 God Thunder quickly and without a horse hit the middle-aged man, who fought with Lucky Double Snow, did not expect Double Snow potential if Crazy Tiger attack. Middle-aged is also get away, 9 dark blue lightning was blocked by his sword 3, his body protection gang cover against 3, but the body was hard to resist 3, on the spot is the number of blood, sword split several holes, and the dragon cloud is not good. After all, the more powerful the spell, the more sophisticated the sword is needed. The 9 Gods Thunder is a famous spell of the 6th level of the Qing Genman, non-fairy cannot be controlled above, so they were enchanted, but also spit blood, and the red sword was directly broken into more than a dozen breaks, that is, the gods cannot repair it, as everyone knows. Mantis catching cicadas in the distance to see the middle-aged man, covering his chest rushed out of Yizang, and Lucky Double Snow to observe Lonnian's injury, no time to care for other. Flying under the heart is great joy, hidden to their own breath. Flying quickly followed the middle-aged man behind. He was bold, step by step, seemingly not afraid of each other to know. I do not know how many miles of road, gradually away from Yizang, happened to be in the middle-aged man injured seriously can no longer take into account the surrounding situation, just turned into the alley in the city, but did not think that Flying Churn had already ambushed in front of the alley. The middle-aged man out of the alley suddenly was violently attacked by the firewood knife stopped. I saw a black sad firewood knife cut a black arc than the night and black, lifeless each other a right hand, with a sword to unload down. A hand was cut off by a violent attack. The middle-aged man snorted, jumped a few steps back, stared at the young man in front of him, and the blood on the broken arm was like no money in general, making the middle-aged man's face twisted into a group. But after all, he fought a nerve, seriously injured, but still did not forget to recite the magic sword from the Flying Churn is also surprised at the other party's very strength down even can accurately avoid their own momentum a blow. Who are you? Is it also a small snack at the gate of Qing Xuan? Staring at the black knife, the middle-aged man asked, well, that's out of your control. Either you keep your stuff or you keep your life. Between the backhands, 6 firewood knives floating around Flying Churn, it is really a bit of a robbery. In the morning, the clouds rise, the rain stops and the wind stops, the birds chirp through the branches, leading to a lot of rain leaves, so that the light shines through the tree tops, sprinkled on the green mud ground, paved with silver. A jingle was heard from the courtyard behind the inn, and then a burst of singing made everyone who was still asleep cry out. The song is so to sing, dang dang, dang dang dang, last night light rain today fine, mantis catching cicadas night return to the forest, did not think about the yellow sparrow side, got the baby and silver. Well, is it my little brother? I still can't get rid of my bad habit of singing random and crooked songs whenever I am happy. Lin Ruiyu stretched, played a breath, will sleep on the side of Chagruting called up. Oh, besides him, who else is so early, so bold, so crazy? I don't know what bad things he has done. Fang Jitsi and Xi Magxing push the door in, say hello, after all the grooming, together to the backyard of the woods, see this little brother out of the gate. There are what rare things good knock, went downstairs. Lucky Double Snow and Longnian 2 people are also going to the backyard. It seems curious more than 4 of them. Other mountains and rocks, my sister I know, I do not need to ask, what I want, the breeze and the moon as a neighborhood, you. Listen to the nonsense ballad, looking at the iron drill on the green one of the immortal sword. Lucky Double Snow angry speechless, ha ha, Brother Yoon is really a wonderful man, he kills evil demons without saying a word, he is not afraid of violence and does not expose himself, which is really a blessing of my right path. Longnian is generous, see the sword will know the public good white apprentice has been flying to kill, did not think of other, but offer congratulations, master brother. Lucky Double Snow is angry at the moment, his brother is still lying on the bed, Longnian weapons and broken into pieces, and the present rogue boy is there to show off. This is not obvious what. Toward the Lucky Double Snow squeezed his eyes, Flying Churn feeling greatly comfortable, to Longnian with a smile, hey, it's easy to say, in order for me to live and work in the mainland of China, I am early to go home, late to go out early to kill those evil demons, is the right thing to do, but also listen to the words of Longnian brother last night, the younger brother can suddenly be bright, like a cloud straight into the sky, snort after listening to a flight of emotion. One side for a long time Lin Ruiyu 4 people, could not help laughing out. Afternoon outside the city, 4 women farewell Flying Churn, you, wearing harmless human and animal skin, do really earth-shattering activities. I really don't know how your heart grows, who wants to provoke you, will let you this monkey peel a layer of skin. Lin Ruiyu touched the head of Flying Churn said, although he grew taller than all the people in the door, but the age is more than 16 years old after all, he looked young, as if he was still a girl in the hairpin year, but the age is really a lot of him, so the tone is all spoiled. In the face of Lin Ruiyu's doting, Fei Churn frowned, his mouth skimmed, tears seemed to fall down, hesitating, Sister Lin, what's the matter with you? Looking at the weeping little teacher brother, Lin Ruiyu panicked, leaving nothing to ask, I miss my master. The next moment, Flying Churn left hand tightly hugged Lin Ruiyu, right hand rubbed the other side's chest, and a kiss. The speed is fast, the movement is skilled, accurate. Let the people even have no reaction. You dead monkey. Let go of me. Lin Ruiyu wiped her face, only found saliva overflowing, make her very embarrassed. 3 people on the side suddenly some schadenfreude. Both of you, stop being so clingy, it's time to get going. Chang Ruiting see 2 people hug, light jealousy will come up, hee. Well, do not hold the elder sister hold you, pretend to embrace, but took out a silver little lotus bag, stuffed into the hands of Chagruting. This bag is robbed last night to Kainkan bag, is a lot of treasures in the collateral. Sister is often out of the house, a lot of inconvenience. This Kainkan bag is my brother robbed things, sister can accept. Chagruting will bag in hand, inexplicably moved, only those jealous also disappeared, say no words, and the remaining 3 people are envious. After all, Kainkan bag, this baby in their current repair is still not done, is also one of the treasures. Flying churn is also because of too much. Ruai Potri is tired to give him personal. This evil person is also very incompetent. Even the firewood sword cannot fight, do not know that a man is innocent, want to condemn his crime. Chang Ruiting face red, looking for a lead away from everyone's attention, but did not want no one to pick up the stubble, just staring at the cloud flying sword left, afraid that the little brother will not come back. Who? I don't know if I remember the way back to Xiangxia Gate. What if he can't remember? Chang Ruiting a look at no one to answer. Infected, actually fell tears, only feel that they are the most poor, only with little brother gathered for 2 days to separate. Why are you crying? Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Fang Jitsi quickly pat Chagruting on the shoulder. Comfort. The heart is also melancholy. Yes, little master brother will definitely come to us tomorrow. You can forget to pay attention to me. This person, it is really thin. Xi Manxing pretended to anger and pushed Fang Jitsi, although according to Flying Churn said, just a day apart time, but close to parting. 4 people are not giving up the present ghost of the little brother, perhaps because of a single show. Another, the evil of all beings. Chapter 17. The sword of death. The red sun falls west, and the afterglow falls on the sea, setting off a piece of red. Red blood is connected with the sea and the sky. The sea, the smoke, a residual red. The vegetation here is strange and huge, which is not all of the world. On the beach, 100-legged dragon, 100 meters long, fell to the ground, its spine like a silver mountain, with 100 great, cold, glittering spurs, each 5 meters long, rising into the sky like a sharp spear, and 2 rows of sharp teeth shining there, while the countless terrible wounds on its body spilled red blood. The eyes have lost all signs of life. Next to the 100-legged dead dragon, 6 men and women stood with swords, fighting endlessly. Ha. Think you are also the famous generation of figures. I did not expect to do such a surprise attack. The man who laughed was a middle-aged man in black. His left hand had been cut off, his blood flowed like a note, and he also had a few holes in his body. But in the face of the 3 men and 2 women in front of him, he looked as if nothing had happened. The 5th day demon, you talk so much nonsense and do what? Leave the absolute immortal sword, break its prohibition, you can go free, why do so? In the middle, an old man came out with a grey beard, a green Taoist robe, and a bluish-black face. Crazy young man. You are an immortal thief of the King sect, and you claim to be right. After more than 1,000 years of fighting demons together in the fairy kingdom, you attacked me today. What a surprise. What a surprise. The devil drank aloud, full of vicissitudes of the face twisted into a mass, the hand of the black magic sword, as if also because of anger sing constantly, greedy sucking gushed out and left the blood, its shape ferocious, almost let people dare not look straight. What a surprise. The devil is the devil after all. Brother Li Kingson, why not kill this man now? Dressed in Taoist robes, the middle-aged woman held a colorful sword. The sword pointed to the devil, the face of the murderous air as if the substance, the person she invited. Li Kingson stood in place, a face of green frost. Do not do any action, Master of Heaven. Hey, you Ime sent me to kill a lot of women, a number of female apprentices, female grandsons are just like you, only know how to pull up the tail on the rear of the Kingson gate. But people ignore you. Ha. The devil laughed again, constantly humiliating the 5 men and women in front of him. You mean mouth, I'll kill you. You can humiliate me as ye may. The Master of Heaven is too angry, which clearly means that she school is dependent on the marriage of the family to climb up the line of the famous family. How can not be angry? Immediately to the past to cut this thief into 18. Was about to fight again, but saw 3 men and 2 women among the only monks stood out, stopped in front of the Master, his hands clasped. Amitabha Buddha, God of demons, you and I have come through the void. This should not have happened today. But now that the dragon of 100 claws is dead, the devil near the entrance has reduced. It is waiting for the opportunity to lay down the immortal sword array. God of demons, why not give this immortal sword to the old guard? Put down the dust heart, return to my Buddha. Wuxing old bald donkey, you have lived thousands of years in vain. Don't you know that this sword is my life? Yu Chagang Gate, Kingsun Gate, Zhengdao Gate, Imei School, King Kung School, which school did not have thousands of lives in my hands, will give you the absolute immortal sword. Ha ha ha. Make me wait to get ripped off. Ha-ha-mak-hak, impossible. Anger attack the heart, the devil a blood spray on the absolute immortal sword, he, then we will go, and get it. Do not bother to say anything to you, this evil outside. A beautiful woman walked out, thought it was the man in the door of the right path said by the devil. In addition to Li Kingsun, the other 4 people are already eager to try at this moment, without thinking, that is called the devil of the people do not want to as they wish. Even if you want this sword, I see that you cannot hold it, and you cannot understand the prohibition of the immortal sword, and you cannot get it. Even if I get it, it'll be the next me. After saying that, the god will never immortal sword into his heart, waving. The god threw the sword into a gap several miles around the dragon. The gap is dark, like an infinite abyss, like a heart, like a life. The end is very strange. Quick. Catch the sword. Don't let it fall into the earth. The Master of Heaven too shouted, flying to grab the past, and the other 3 also followed the past. Only the Kingsun Gate has been green face of the patriarch Li Kingsun fixed standing still, watching the devil into flying ash, then turned away. The swiftest master grasped the sword, but the next moment she regretted it. The sword was as hot as if it had just come out of the stove. It emitted a thick black smoke, and a loud explosion of oil smoke burned her hand, turning her left hand black. Ah! Sad to drink a sound, the absolute day will be the absolute immortal sword, thrown to the side of the green madman. Bah ah! Hoa! Great old Nye! What have you done? The young madman also let out a loud drink, and when his hand touched the immortal sword, it shrank back like a snake eating its hand, and his 2 hands were also black. This is the devil exhausted the Yuan god to use all the demons of the spirit of the great law, and with its own prohibition of the immortal sword has not been solved. This sword is the world's most vicious sword, no one can control. You still give up as soon as possible, and let it fall into the human world. Let time dissolve the evil it. Li Kingsun turned his head, faintly dropped a word, and disappeared on the coast. When they heard this, they all froze, and floated in the air, and their consternation looked at the absolute immortal sword, falling into the black abyss. In the dark magic sword rotated at a high speed, and flew thousands of miles in an instant, disappearing into the public eye. Hey, did 15,000 yuan go? Coincidentally, the 5th day of the devil, you are not dead. Thousands of years you kill people are so useless, thanks to your own repair, but thanks to you, otherwise I really can not wake up. Ha ha ha, ah ha ha ha. The high female voice came from the sword, coquettish and terrifying. Xiangkou Town, Market, white cow-shaped female, dignified, generous and beautiful, priced at 100 gold. Toad-shaped male, infinite strength, good at catching mosquitoes, priced at 120, signed, Chenbei Vegetable Market. This is an advertisement written on the bulletin board of the north gate of the town, which is very common in the border market. After all, the demon beasts run amok in sparsely populated places, and the demon beasts, who open the spirit of spirit, can slowly become human after absorbing the spirit of heaven and earth, or practicing the art, just as the pig demon of Duke Xianshan is also because of a treasure mud in a treasure place. After decades of human form, it is what the people of the Kelanese land say. In the flying fairy era, when god sticks were walking the streets, and immortals were cheap as dogs. Some high people with some fur magic would arrest them, and sell them to some rich people to serve as sleeping maids, or coolie attendants, although this kind of trading is also a miracle in the mainland of China. But the demon beasts for sale are generally low in power. In addition to their own supernatural powers, not much stronger than normal people, few strong demon beasts. Even if there is, it is estimated that others will not dare to buy. Xiangkou Town Market is not much, opened more than 100 acres of land, but the grocery stalls, the floating population is complicated and lively. There are daylily, tofu flour, there are selling sons, selling daughters, there are chest broken stone, swallow swords, swallow snakes. Anyway, it is too busy to see the side. 2 years later has become a man of the flying churn. Back here, the heart is also a big feeling. Do not know that he used to frequented that Zhang Leiwa fine art serial art shop, can still be in. Old sewer home that tits as big as the basin of the yellow flower big girl can go out. Flying churn this shifty eyes looked around, immediately like flies squinting eyes can target dung in general, found the target he wanted to find. Old man Zhang, can you still sell that new stuff today? Can I borrow your kid? Hey, good boy to ask you for more books this time. Speaking naturally is the cloud faken, a bared mouth, the leery squeeze the eyes, the familiar door pulled a small bench, sitting next to the simple bookstore called Zhang old man opened, crisp, this hand also do not know how long. Zhang Leiwa saw that it was Fei Chen, half miss eyes opened, more than 70 years old body bones suddenly straightened a few points. Hey, is you this bad boy? How I heard the ghost of life, that several monkey grandchildren said that you went up the mountain to learn art with the master. Is it not cheating me? Or did you get kicked out of school? Aich. You must have been expelled from the master's house. You are the boy who can make trouble. If you do not fight for 3 days and go to the house to expose the tiles, you must not be able to bear this boring and tedious thing. Hey, you old age, a lot of nonsense, feelings are years. The Evil of All Beings Chapter 18 The Dragon, and the Phoenix Against the Sword. The North Gate city wall was suddenly blasted out of a big gap in the house. After this sudden change, people looked at the site of the incident, see as 2 people with swords to confront each other. The good response of the gate guard, only a blink of an eye, then ran away. If the thickness of the city gate can be blown out of the big gap in the house, this fairy battle is ordinary people can see. Or are you going to die? Arch, a good market, 3 or 2 days to play this game. The little old man's book cannot be sold. Stinky boy, also run away to do what? After all, it is not the first time to see this fairy fight. Zhang old man touched the pile of books under the table, the package into a package on the back of the body, a pull to take off the churn will run, but did not think of the other side but stood still, staring at the table selling monsters in the vegetable market. Seeing that he could not move, Mr. Zhang shouted, hello. War, I want to die, come with me. Hee, Zhang old son you still run, and accept this silver. Fei Churn something cannot stay. Flying Churn dropped a big ingots of horseshoe silver, then burst open the hands of Zhang Leiwa, a few steps to hide under the tree. But he did not see the rabbit does not scatter the eagle master. Squat pick up cheap is strong. Ha, ox nose old way. You are really so flamflamant the 5 elements of the beast also used to exchange for gold. Want to lure me out also do not need to stir up so much. Old friends to meet anger cannot be good. The speaker was an old man, with a grey goatee and wrinkles on his face, who looked like a kind old farmer. The middle-aged Taoist priest was the one who sent out a thunderbolt, and he had a blue immortal sword named Feifeng in his hand, and the cold light was like water, which penetrated into the heart, and he said, if I didn't throw myself into your favor, like this and catch the Wuxing beast, I am afraid that your Gongliang White, and Gongliang Grand Elder would not appear. You this ox nose even know that I lack the 5 elements of the beast to make alchemy lead. Hey, I do not have gold. You see what is better to change? With your father's sword of love, the dragon, or with some magic weapon. As long as your eldest grandson also says so, I can take it out, and change it. The old man called Gongliang White smiled and said that, but from the gold-filled bag on the waist to touch, I do not know how, actually pulled out a 3-foot-long sword, the sword body red, the edge of the black, the book Dragon Flying Dance above wrote, 2 ancient inscriptions, it is the word swimming dragon. Look at these 2 swords, was actually a pair of male and female double swords. View that posture, it is not like to want to barter, more like killing. Flying Chern now also understand that these two people are Longnian, said Gongliang White, and the so-called Changsun Elder, and that a pair of dragon and phoenix double sword he is thinking about. Chang Sun also did not laugh angrily, said, "Ha, I have been looking for you for decades. You also forgot my mountain and river Zhuang Sun's name, but it is still remembered. I also dare not afford to exchange this magic weapon, as long as you leave your Gongliang White old life, let alone give you that can increase the strength of the 5 elements beast. Even if I lose this life is worth it." Mountains and rivers. It turns out that the secret of mountains and rivers was originally the thing of the eldest grandson. Hey, I like the things of the right way. Think of last night. Rob the public good. White, get that formula. Fly in the heart is a burst of excitement at this time. Their own Xianxia just spell lack. This can be honest and welcome to the income door. Back to the mountain to fix. Make into Xianxia pie is the formula. Two people, words and deeds opposite, face to face, although smile, but the body around has changed. First called Changsun, also a light whistle. The side suddenly rose the aura, blowing bursts of thin mist. Let a person seem like flying fairy down to the world, is wonderful, and Gongliang White suddenly, but a black and red flame, Wahao ring. Two people for others are ignored. Turn a blind eye to everything, the 5-element beast that increased its strength. A deformed monster. Fei Chern suspiciously looked at the Taoist behind that called Changsun, also saw the only girl standing, petite and exquisite, only 13 or 14 years old, timidly standing on the stage. Want to be this demon? The 5 elements of the beast girl, black hair to the waist, delicate features, lang star-like eyes with a little timid, but the overall is born beautiful crown, a simple loose short robe set on her body. It became sexy, extraordinary. This image cannot help but let Yunchen shake his head, silly smile. Increase the strength is not feel, more like a serious little beauty, is really a wolf into the tiger. Ah, alas, you song old monster, a thing how so people think about. At this time, most of the people in the market have run away, Flying Chern, and left and right eyes, but only to see Longnian, Lucky Double Snow, Sun Zinklin. 3 people are not far away from the 5 elements of the beast is very close. 3 people are at this time to take off their hats, showing their face. I saw that Gongliang Bai looked around, looked at the 3 Longnian men, and sneered, "Those of your disciples want to come today, right? Don't the right people like to fight together? No matter how you dare me, my eldest grandson will also lose a small reputation. Except for the evil of your side, no one in the right way can disagree with you, and you and I have a sworn enemy, that is, to do something inferior, which is a pleasure to the world, but you can rest assured that this time I will definitely kill you, this wicked person." Chang Sun also flashed a touch of sadness on his face, but suddenly smiled. The hands of the strange phoenix sword raised the head 3 feet, the tip of the sword pointed at the public good. White, the light blue sword like gas penetrates the human body, dazzling, almost dare not look directly at. Ho, you can't see that you haven't seen it for decades. Your practice has come to such a point. You used to be an unknown young later life, and now you are also an elder of the Kingston Gate. The time is burning, the most is burning human skin, and now you have such cultivation, but this cultivation will kill me. You don't think it is too early? Public good. White mouth feeling, the hand of the dragon is also slowly rising, facing each other's flying phoenix, buzzing. The war is full. The hot red light has faintly covered the other's blue sword orn. 2 fairy quality is fairy a product, and used in the hands of the 2. Formed Yuan baby is to give full play to the power to the extreme. Let Flying Chern open the eyes once. 50 years ago, you hid in my village, trapping my father in all kinds of tricks, to fight and hurt him badly. And while I was practicing in the Kingston Gate, you killed 54 members of my family, and took away my precious treasure, mountains, and rivers and country map. You are ashamed of yourself for not reclaiming your blood revenge today. Chang Sun also said, quickly hand pinch the sword formula, footstep 5 directions, drink loudly, dry in the floating clouds, from the fall in the day, 10 absolute feather cover, floating from the sky, dense rain Ming Mu, to the